everyone, welcome back. My name's Dustinkreis, and a survivor is born. And that survivor is Lara Croft's Cammy in the game Tomb Raider. How she is not completely naked by the end of the game, I don't know, because, wow. She gets beat up in this game. And, yeah, this game is awesome. If you guys have not picked up Tomb Raider and you're waiting on it to get cheap, it's down to about $40 used now at GameStop. And I think that is a great price to pick this up. I know they just lowered the price to $49.99 new. So, I mean, even for $50, this is a great experience to have. I am so, just so surprised by this game in a lot of ways. I knew I was going to like it, but I didn't know I was going to like it as much as I did. And it really took a lot of videos, me watching people talking about this game to finally get into it. Ball and Nick's video, FemTroopers video was the one that really just made me say, screw it, I'm going to go buy it and just get it. And I'm glad I did because I love this game. Really surprised at how much I like it. I mean, I liked Uncharted 1, and I haven't played the other Uncharteds yet. But Lara Croft makes Nathan Drake look like a flat-out pussy. Yeah, so let's go ahead and get into this and talk about the game. This is a origin story. This is going back and retelling us how Lara Croft became Lara Croft. And a very inexperienced and green Lara is out on a... just a normal, archaeological, anthropological assignment, when all of a sudden this huge storm hits their boat and knocks them onto this deserted island. Or you think it's deserted. And from there on out, it is a battle for survival. And it is a white-knuckle game, man. I keep thinking about how games are becoming more and more like movies, and the experience of sitting down and watching this for 2 hours, or sitting down and playing this for 10 hours. There's just some things that movies cannot do, like when you're up on top of like this huge cliff and you look down and you see the distance, and for me, I'm a huge scaredy cat when it comes to heights. I'm just like, whoa, you don't get that in the movie, but man, when you play a game, you certainly get that. And the storyline is brutal. This is a brutal game. I was really surprised by it. Because, Nathan, the Uncharteds are a bit more lighthearted. I think of the Uncharteds as kind of like the Indiana Jones take of what this lifestyle would be like, whereas Tomb Raider is kind of more the reality of it. But yeah, the storyline it's interesting. A lot of it is told through, like audio dialogues that you find, around the island. A lot of the backstory of the island and the backstory of what's going on in the game is told through these logs. So, you definitely want to read those to get the full effect. But, nothing really, how do I want to put it? I really enjoyed the story. It really kept me going from point to point to point, and really, I was really interested in seeing, how it all unfolded and all that. But now that I'm sitting here thinking about it, it's not like, one of the great stories of video gaming. It's just a very well-told action-adventure story. No real deep underlying, themes or anything like that. It's just a story to get you from point A to point B in a game. And that's what a lot of these action games have. And maybe if I played this before I played Bioshock Infinite, because Bioshock Infinite is so packed to the gills with metaphors and, hidden meanings and ideas, that when you go back to more of a simplistic action story, it kind of falls a little short. But I really fell in love with the character of Lara Croft in this game. Not so much before. I've never really been a big fan of Tomb Raider. I played a little bit of the first game on the PS1 back in the day, and I've kind of experimented here and there with the series, and it's just never really, I just never really cared. I was like, okay, another Tomb Raider game. But when this one came out, I definitely knew that it was going to be something special, and it really was. I don't know, you know, oftentimes people talk about like becoming attracted to fictional characters, especially, you know, like with females out there, you know, Team Edward or Team Jacob, you know, that kind of nonsense. If this Lara Croft was a real person, I would, you know, fall in love with her. Now, of course, she would never give me the time of day because she's out, you know, traipsing around the world, whereas I'm sitting in a living room playing a game based on her. But, you know, that's neither here nor there. And it's interesting, though, because a lot of the times, a lot of the attraction to Lara Croft has been her body type. And they really toned it down for this one. The focus is no longer really on her huge rack. You know, whenever you see cosplayers for Lara Croft, it's always a huge rack. You know, they really toned her down and made her look like a real woman. And not only that, but the attraction to Lara doesn't really come from her body. It really comes from the fact that this is a extremely capable woman out there kicking fucking ass. And I don't know about you guys, but for me, when I watch, like, you know, Buffy or Serenity with River, you know, it's always these really kick-ass women that really, you know, attract me. Like in Battlestar Galactica, you know, everyone was making a big deal over Trisha Heffler and Grace Park. And I was always really attracted to Katie Sackhoff because I was like, she could fucking kick my ass. And I find that really sexy, you know? And that's what it is with Lara Croft. She could totally kick my ass. And I'd be like, let's do it again, you know? So they really did a great job with the character of Lara. You really get to see the journey from sort of this green girl, and through the events of the island, just becomes a true badass. She might be a little bit too capable right off the get. You know, it'd be cool to see her fail a little bit in the early stages of the game, but that might impact the gameplay some way. I don't know, you know, but definitely a great journey. The gameplay, if you have played an Uncharted or like one of these third-person platforming shooter type games, you know what to expect. There really isn't anything in terms of the gameplay that breaks it out of the mold. You know, you have the shooting and the platforming of the Uncharted series. You have the detective mode of the Batman Arkham Asylum series. You know, there's tons of hidden things and places to explore. I think I ended the game with a 79%, so I'm definitely going to be going back and trying to find a lot of the other stuff, because it's just fun running around the environments and jumping from platform to platform. And there was a few times where I didn't think I was going to make a jump. And, you know, you're just sitting there holding the controller and you're like, and then she grabs a hold of the ledge and you're like, oh, you know, really a great experience gameplay-wise. It's these types of games are so much fun, and it's a totally different experience from what I usually like, which is RPGs. This puts you right in the middle of the action, and I really love that. The controls, I had no issues with the controls whatsoever, other than, you know, sometimes when I was going to do a jump, I wouldn't time hitting the button right, and she wouldn't actually jump. Other than that, you know, the controls are spot on. The camera is great. The aiming is awesome. As far as gameplay goes, this is a 10 out of 10 game. Just really, really tight. The graphical presentation of the game is stunning. Really a gorgeous game. And, you know, it kind of has a muted color palette in some places. But even that is really well, you know, detailed, designed. I didn't notice a lot of texture pop in, which you get a lot with these style of games. It always just, you know, loads up a low-res version of things, and then all of a sudden all the features come in. Never noticed that with this game. The graphics are just amazing. And the music really, really, really sets the tone. Very action-packed, very somber in some places. you know, it's not something I'm going to run out and buy the soundtrack for, but when you're playing the game, it really does the job. And even just the normal audio sound effects are amazing. You'll be running down a corridor, and all of a sudden you'll start hearing people talk, and you know, oh, I better slow down because around the corner I'm about to start doing some stealth kills. That's one really cool thing about it too. I really liked how it gives you a choice on whether you want to run and gun or if you want to play more stealthy. Like in a game where you have a handgun, a machine gun, and a shotgun, I never thought I would use a bow as much as I did, but I found myself going back to that damn bow over and over again because I preferred to have stealthy kills because it felt more right for the game. You know, she's not going to run in guns blazing, but yeah, I don't know what else to say about Tomb Raider, guys. If you haven't picked this up yet, it is one. It's not going to overtake BioShock Infinite by any means, but it is one of the great games, you know, this year. And Uncharted, when they get around to doing another Uncharted game, they're really going to have to step it up to overtake this. Like I said, I haven't played 2 and 3 yet, so maybe 2 and 3 are amazing. But wow, this is just fantastic. Just the little things really set this game apart. I love it when she's constantly referring back to this wound that she gets in the beginning of the game, and like you'll be walking down you know, a corridor, and every now and then if you get too close to the wall, she'll put out a hand to sort of balance herself on the wall. I love the fact that she gets dirty and stays dirty and beat up. So many of these games, you know, it's like all of a sudden they're running, and they're filthy. You know, the characters are filthy, and then the next cutscene they're like, "Hey, I found a bathroom and got cleaned up and found a new shirt." So I love that just the attention to detail in this game is really what sets it apart, and it's just the little things that yeah, that really make it. So, like I said, if you're waiting on this to get cheap, but you really want to play it, I say just go buy it because it's going to be one of those experiences that you're like, yeah, I got my money's worth with that. And even at like, I don't know, 10 or 8 hours, I'm not sure how long it took me to beat this. Even then, I'm like, wow, that was worth my $40. So Tomb Raider, who knew? Really one of the great games this year, and I'm so glad I got it. And I'm going to be looking forward to sequels. You know they're going to do it. And in this new rebooted Tomb Raider universe, I am a fan. So, yeah, I gave it extremely high marks. If you guys are thinking about picking it up, definitely pick it up. I don't know anything about the multiplayer because I really couldn't give a fuck about the multiplayer. So, but as a single player experience, you're not going to find a much better title out there other than maybe BioShock. So, anyway, guys, that is it for Tomb Raider. Tomorrow Pandora's Tower comes out, so I'll be picking that up. But for now, I think I'm going to go start Persona 4 Golden on the Vita. So anyway, thanks for watching. Take care. I'll see you next time.